Alright, today we have Prada's Luna Rossa Carbon, the flanker fragrance, one of the flanker fragrances from the original Luna Rossa. And notes in here are lavender, ambroxan, pepper, patchouli, coal, bergamot, and metallic notes. So this one obviously gets compared to Sauvage by Dior a lot, and I get the comparison. There are a lot of similarities, but there are distinctions from one another. I'm not really going to go too far into that in this review, but I will link below to where I've done a full comparison between those two fragrances on my website. So check that out if you want to know distinct differences between Carbon and Sauvage. The main one to me is that the lavender in this is much heavier, and Sauvage tends to have more of a citrus, a sharper citrus opening. So the opening this one is that Sauvage, like ambroxan, pepper, bergamot, and lavender. Lavender is heavier, obviously. So there is maybe a slight metallic note, but it's not really something too heavy. It's sort of like the metallic note you'd find in Hugo Red by Hugo Boss, if anyone's familiar with that. The bergamot strikes me as the strongest top note at first, but it fades into the background within about 5 minutes in this. But it is a nice supporting player throughout. After the initial opening wave, you get a feeling of earthy kind of soap, sort of like a shaving cream. The lavender is the main note here, so it's going to be the heaviest throughout the life cycle. So if you're not a big lavender fan, you might want to stay away from this one. It's actually a pretty linear fragrance. The lavender is constant, but the different notes sort of pop in and out during the wear. So at times you'll get breakthrough of patchouli, then more you'll get ambroxan, then the pepper comes and kicks it up with some spice. So it kind of gets difficult to distinguish between the ingredients at times because they do pop in and out. And then there is that sort of carbon metallic smell that kind of gives it its name. Again, it's not too powerful. Projection wise, this one's not crazy loud, but it performs well. It starts out pretty loud and then ends up towards the moderate end of things. So you only need a few sprays of this and you'll be fine. It's not a projection beast, but it does stay on my skin for a really long time. And I usually get double-digit hours out of this, so 10 hours, it's still performing pretty well. With the initial, first 8 hours, it's great. It performs very well. What I like about this one is how versatile it is. It's understated enough to be safe for work or school or casual wear, but it has enough maturity that you can wear it formally. It's attractive and it's sexy enough to wear out at night into the club, and it really doesn't feel too restricted to any particular season. I think it would work well most year round. Overall, I think this one's quite nice. I think I like it better than Sauvage, but it's not my favorite Luna Rossa. I still like Sport the best, and it's number 2 is kind of a toss-up between this and the original. And this one has better performance in my opinion than the original, but I kind of like the citrus dominant smell in the original Luna Rossa. This one's still very good, and I'll probably finish out this mini sprayer. I don't think I'll ever buy a full bottle, but this is enough for me right now. But yeah, it's good stuff.